Hi, and welcome to Askimo TV. Today we're going to talk about anesthesia in third world countries. And we're here with Dr. Harris, which is an associate professor of anesthesiology at Utah University, and also is a co-founder of the International Anesthesia Education Forum. Hello, Dr. Harris.
Hello.
Dr. Harris, am I correct in saying that your main focus is on refresher courses, and what exactly does it mean, and why this is the focus of your organization?
So yes, refresher courses are something that's very common in medical conferences in the higher income country. And basically what that is a way for practitioners to go over those basics of our individual practice that we may or may not have forgotten over the years, and also to kind of round off some of the more recent advances. So kind of, go back over the foundations and then add on the additional stories of what's been going on recently. Where is this particular area heading? The reason we focus on this is kind of been an organic process, in that our collaborators in sub-Saharan Africa have always kind of driven our projects, and we've always tried to provide what they want, not what we think they need, but what they want. And what they've asked for is, hey, can you go back over all that physiology in this particular field and then tell us what's going on in the rest of the world? Now, they may not be able to administer these particular techniques or drugs or equipment or whatever, but they want to know what's going on, because eventually they're going to have that ability. So from the one hand, we've got kind of buffing up their already existing knowledge, but on the other hand, they've got that little kind of shine of what's going on in the world and what's the future of this particular field. And one of the reasons, so that's one reason we focus on this particular format. Another reason is, if you look at some of the studies on brain drain, i.e., medical practitioners who were trained in a particular country and then leave that country to greener pastures, if you will. One of the things they cite often is the inability in their home country to maintain their skills and advance their skills. They feel they're kind of languishing and their skills diminish over the years. And so one of our motivators was to try, as to whatever degree we can, to mitigate some of that brain drain. I don't have any evidence that we've managed to succeed, but at least that's a good reason to do that. The third reason that the course module format works so well, I think, is people are coming to the course. People come to the conference. They sign up. In some cases, they pay a little money, and not to us, but to the hosts. And the idea is that they are engaged. We are not suddenly descending upon their place of work and saying, hey, everybody listen to me, I know everything. They are coming to us when they sign up and they engage. They're saying, okay, I'm interested. Let me hear what you've got to say. Let's have a discussion about this. Let's learn together. So you get a lot more interactivity, and I think the communication is better, and I think the learning is better when you set it up in a more formal course, invitation type scenario.
What kind of people join those courses? Are they all from the same country, or do they travel to take part?
Well, most of our participants are from the host country. Just purely from I think a financial and travel perspective, it's actually quite difficult and expensive, and takes a long time to travel in a lot of these low-income countries. So it's a little easier within country. But in recent years, we've been having a lot of folks from adjacent countries come to our conferences. We've had our major conference every year is in Ghana, and we've had people coming from Cote d'Ivoire, from Cameroon. This year we had a couple of gentlemen come from Benin. So there are people coming. We're very flattered when that happens, and I think it's great. Not only flatters our ego, but I think it also encourages a cross-border collaboration and communication between our hosts and colleagues in Ghana and those folks in Cameroon and Benin. Suddenly they know each other. Oh yeah, that was the guy I was at that conference with. And so there's suddenly this communication and this ability to collaborate, which I think is huge when in those countries that have very poor resources, very poor access to resources, suddenly they have this partner across the border who can help or who they can help. And suddenly it becomes a much more productive relationship, I think.
And have you seen an empirical change in health standards in the places that you have, and perhaps and still do volunteer?
Yes. So this is the tricky part. Yes, we've been doing this work now for 12 years in various countries, but the longest term has been in Ghana. And yes, there's been a dramatic increase in the availability of equipment, the availability of drugs, the training of the individual practitioners. The problem is that I really can't claim that I had anything to do with that. I would like to think that we had something to do with that, but it's very, very difficult to show that from any kind of statistical standpoint. There are so many internal projects going on within an individual country. The Minister of Health is very engaged in all these. Every Minister of Health I've ever talked to is very engaged and very dedicated to his countrymen. So it's very difficult to tease out what any external group has contributed when there's so much work going on internally. I think at best, the way I try to think of it is at best we have served as a catalyst, perhaps a nidus for endeavors to coalesce around. And moreover, I think on a person-to-person perspective, I think if we can help an individual colleague in a low-income country, that certainly is going to improve his or her ability to work and perhaps provide better care to their countrymen. But yes, I've seen a dramatic increase, but how much we're responsible for, I really don't know.
I see. And what kind of people are volunteering at your organization? Are there more students, more professional? And what is the process, if any, to be accepted as a volunteer?
So our organization is primarily, actually exclusively anesthesia providers. We really don't have a lot of opportunity for students. Anesthesia is such an esoteric subject that medical students or nursing students or whatever are really, they're just not there yet. We usually take some residents on our trips, some anesthesiology residents, so physicians that are training in anesthesia, and they provide a lot of kind of backup. They often do some lectures and run some little seminars. We're also starting to collaborate with a newly formed residency program in Ghana, such that our residents will be working hand in hand with the residents in Ghana, with a really nice potential for some cross collaboration and learning. So how we do things, how they do things, and they really, as peers, can learn a lot from each other. But mostly our group is anesthesiologists from the United States, mostly from from Utah, and we go 2, 3, 4 times a year and have all sorts of projects going on. But over the years, we've kind of accumulated a small group of people who are very interested and dedicated in this work, and that seems to do the trick.
Thank you. That was very interesting. Thank you, Dr. Harris.
You're very welcome.